County, Ohio is now in session. The Honorable Noah E. Towers is the second presiding. You may be seated.
On the record, counsel.
On the record.
State
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Mr. President, good afternoon, Mr. Miller.
State of Ohio versus Brittany Gosney, case number CR 21030273. And State of Ohio versus James Hamilton, case number CR 21030274.
We're going to arrange these separately.
Okay, well we will start then with State of Ohio versus Brittany Gosney. Defendant is present in the courtroom along with her attorney David Washington, Kelly Harley, and Michael Moser on behalf of the state.
Well, thank you. And Mr. Washington is here representing Ms. Gosney.
I am, Judge.
And how do you wish to proceed with respect to this arraignment, Mr. Washington?
Your Honor, at this time we're going to enter a plea of not guilty. We're going to waive reading, waive the 24-hour period, and any defect with regard to service. She has received a copy of the indictment of greater than 24 hours prior to this hearing. She's 29 years old, Judge. We're going to enter a plea of not guilty to all charges at this time.
Straight not guilty, please.
Straight not guilty plea at this time, Judge. I did have an initial meeting with Ms. Gosney yesterday. I'm going to meet with her again probably tomorrow. There are some issues that that may develop, which may cause me to request leave and perhaps file another plea on her behalf. But at this time, just based upon my limited conversations with her, at this time we're going to enter a straight not guilty plea. Also based upon that, Judge, at this time we're not going to execute a general time waiver. However, that doesn't preclude us from doing that in the future.
I'll ask the judge to set a trial date right now.
And when was the defendant arrested?
March 1st, Your Honor. Actually, it might have been February 28th, the day before. Officially.
Based on that, when do we have to try this case by? Speedy trial date?
I'm thinking right around May 28th.
Your Honor, if it gives the court any, I would ask the court to consider just having us come back in a couple of weeks. I don't know. I don't think speedy trial is going to be an issue in this case.
Well, Your Honor, we just want to avoid an issue on that, so we'd appreciate it if you go ahead and set a trial date today, and that we won't have any problems with that down the road, and we won't be second guessing the date.
The anticipated time for trial.
That it would take. We're looking at, I would say, a week-long jury trial. That's under normal circumstances. With COVID jury selection, it may take a little over a week.
Does everybody look on Monday, May the 12th? Let's see. Here we go. May the 24th?
That's fine.
That's fine.
So this matters for trial then on Monday, May the 24th, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. Would you like to have a final or a pre-trial between these times?
Judge, I think it may be beneficial if we come back just in a couple of weeks, just to, right now, I think that there's still a lot of evidence gathering going on. Also, I've had one meeting with my client to try to get some information together. Also, with regard to co-defendants, I know that there have been some statements I haven't read or received any of them, obviously, so I'm not sure if there's going to be an issue regarding trying. I don't think that these two individuals will be tried together.
I'm setting the trial date for her.
Okay.
About March 22nd, 8:30. That's a Monday.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you. You said March 22nd, Judge?
Yes, it'll be 2 weeks from today.
At what time?
8:30 a.m.
That'd be perfect, Judge. Thank you.
That's fine, Your Honor.
Anything else we need to discuss at this time?
There's no bond at this point in time.
I was under the impression bond had been set at $2 million.
It was set at the lower court, but that case would be dismissed.
Right, very well.
Judge, with regard to bond, obviously this is, the allegations are very serious. We recognize that. She's 29 years old. She has no prior contact, no prior record. We ask the court to set a bond that's reasonable.
Prosecution wishes to be heard.
We thought the bond set earlier, Your Honor, was reasonable, or it would have been set at $2 million. We're satisfied with that. Continuing.
Very well, we'll set bond at $2 million, cash or surety. We'll also order that if the defendant is released, that she report to pretrial services on a weekly basis with drug tests. And we'll also order that GPS should be placed on her.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything else with respect to Ms. Gosney?
No, Your Honor.
Well, good. Sheet for see it back there. We'll also order that Ms. Gosney have no contact with the victims in this case, that being the other 2 children. Here's the sheet.
State of Ohio versus James Hamilton, case number CR 21-030274, Jeremy Evans on behalf of the defendant, Kelly Highland and Mike Moser on behalf of the state. Set today for arraignment.
You wish to proceed here with respect to arraignment, Mr. Evans?
Good morning, Your Honor. Jeremy Evans on behalf of James Hamilton, who appears in person. Mr. Hamilton is 42 years old. He's able to read, write, and understand the English language, having earned his GED. He is a U.S. citizen born in Hamilton County, Ohio. He has been served with a copy of his indictment within the last few hours. We would waive the 24-hour waiting period, waive the reading of the indictment in open court, and enter a not guilty plea for the second half of the indictment, counts 17 through 31. We would asked to be heard on the issue of bond and a plea of indicated in a plea of not guilty. I would indicate also to the court that if the court is interested in tracking these cases together, I'm available for a plea of trial in 2 weeks. I did file a notice of appearance of counsel request for discovery and bill of particulars today, Your Honor. I just met them today, so there's a lot of information that was gathered.
And has he waived the speedy trial?
No, Your Honor.
Was he arrested on the same date?
Yes, it was.
90 days is calculated, May 28th the 28th of February was the date of the arrest.
He waived defects in service. I may have missed that.
So wave, Your Honor.
You wish to be heard on bond?
Yes, Your Honor.
Proceed.
Thank you. Understanding that these co-defendants are charged for a course of conduct alleged to have been enacted together, I would indicate to the court under the criminal rules, he is not charged with murder or felony of the first degree, although his charges are serious. I would indicate to the court that he has been a resident of Butler County for the last 9 years or so. He indicates to me that although he does have some prior felony history, it has been since about 2007 that he's had any contact with the court on a felony level. He's not on any probation, parole, post-release control reporting to any other court at this time. He is an electrician, has been employed through the same company for about 7 years. Would indicate to the court that he has no source of income, obviously, while he's incarcerated. And as the rules anticipate the court considering a bond, that would be something that he would potentially be able to meet on anything other than a murder or felony of the first degree. We would ask the court to consider setting bond significantly lower than the co-defendant, given the charges in this matter.
State wish to be heard?
Yes, Your Honor. The charge against this defendant, while not murder, certainly based upon the evidence that will be presented, will show acting with the other defendant in this case in concert with certain issues. The defendant is charged with second-degree kidnapping, and that is a very serious offense. Multiple counts, actually, along with others. The defendant does have a prior criminal record, burglary, 1999. Later on, weapons under disability. I would represent this defendant, represents the threat, and as a result, we ask for a substantial bond. His co-defendant has a $2 million bond while he's not charged with murder. The allegations of his participation in that egregious offense certainly would justify making sure that this defendant is available for trial. We're asking for $1 million bond with respect to this defendant.
Anything else you'd like to say with respect to Momster?
I've made my argument to the court. Thank you.
Great. We'll set this matter for trial on May 24th, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. We'll deal with any issues regarding whether they should be tried together at a later date. We'll set up pre-trial for March 22nd, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. We'll set bond on this matter at $750,000. We'll order that the defendant be placed under if he's released, be placed under the custody of pretrial services with an order to report weekly. He'll be placed on the GPS unit with random drug screens. He's to have no contact with the alleged victims, and he assumes the obligation of determining the date, time, and place of all subsequent appearances, and to maintain contact with Mr. Evans. Would respond immediately to all calls with Mr. Evans and not to change his address or telephone numbers without advising Mr. Evans. Anything else?